Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are very happy to introduce you to our show titled Speak of Africa. We have a whole lot of news for you, a lot of news stories. But before we begin, we want to say thank you to all our viewers. If you are viewing this show for the first time, my name is Prince Ojong, your host. We also want to thank our subscribers. We have hit the $70,000 mark again. Some of the subscribers were wiped off because I think YouTube took them out thinking that they were AI generated, but we still have over 70,000 subscribers. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for making this show real. Thank you for everything you're doing for us. We will not disappoint you. We are faithful. For so many years now, we always keep our promise. We work with you. The news today, Africa in chaos, Africa Titanic. One of my best movies, I love watching movies, but one of my best movies is The Titanic. I love the love story. But I love that movie because it talks about the sinking of that great ship. And when I look at La République du Cameroon, La République du Cameroon is a Titanic. You see the tip of the iceberg. So that ship is sinking. And this week we're seeing that so many guys who are in Paul Biya's government are jumping up into the sea. They are jumping out of that ship because they know that the ship is sinking into the sea. They don't want to sink with it. They want to run away. So you can see them doing things. For one, you guys remember Issa Chiroma. He used to be the Minister of Communication, a big-time propagandist supporting the Biya regime. This week, he decided to resign. He tendered his resignation to Prime Minister John Ngute. And he decided that he's going to form his own political party. So already we see the big break. Most of the points we've been raising on this show will tell you about the inefficiency, the collapse of the Biya regime. Now he took our talking points and he expressed them so that everybody in Cameroon can hear. When we were saying these things, people think that, oh, maybe we're just making stories. No, we've been telling you the truth. The Biya government has failed. So Issa Chiroma, the propagandist of Paul Biya, is saying, yes, the Biya government has failed. So are we not vindicated? Yes, we are. But the vindication is not what we're talking about. When we look at the political situation in Cameroon, it's a powder cake. After Biya, there will be chaos because Biya did not prepare for a successor. Biya decided that he must die in power. As a consequence, the election that is coming in 2025 is a pregnant election. The presidential election is already pitting a lot of people against each other. The CPDM, Biya's party, is collapsing with him. Biya is very sick. Most of the time he spends his time in his village, Mvumeka. He comes just a day to attend 20th May, then he returns to Mvumeka. So the country is just run by his French masters. They have their French ambassador in Yaoundé who sees everything and fixes things. So Cameroonians are just figureheads. But the after Biya period is now happening. People are shuffling. Who is going to be the third president of La République du Cameroon? That's a question on a lot of inquiring minds. So many people are saying, it's me, everybody wants to be Biya's successor. Biya himself wants to be Biya's successor. So who is going to be Biya's successor? Things are really tough because when we look at the tea leaves, some people have been telling us that this time, the people from the north, Issa Chiroma has already said, no, the north is not going to support Biya anymore. So he has declared its independence. The north is now independent from Biya's ruling CPDM cabal. Then at the same time, we see Bello Buba Maigari. Some of you remember Bello Buba Maigari, UNDP leader. He also has declared his candidacy. He's also from the north, Adamawa region. He has decided that the allegiance he has been paying to Biya has to end. So he decided that no more collaboration with Biya's CPDM party. He too has quit CPDM in favor of his own political future. So now we have two big guys from the north of Cameroon who have decided to quit Biya's party. They did not only quit Biya's party, but they left and presented a long document stating that the Biya government has failed. Biya's failed leadership. That's just what the document talks about. Just imagine that the Minister of Transport, Issa Chiroma, who has just resigned, is the one talking about the failure of this Biya regime. It's not just me. So take this point seriously. So from what we see, things are going to be tough. Issa Chiroma is already trying to reach out to Maurice Kamto. So why is he trying to do this? Well, he's talking about the government should not serve one man. The purpose of government should be to serve the Cameroonian people. But unfortunately, for so many years, he has been serving one man, Paul Biya, which is a shame. After he has amassed so much money, the people have been suffering because of his lies. Today, Issa Chiroma is telling you he has to turn a new leaf. So is this political expediency or is this patriotism? Well, those are the questions a lot of Cameroonians are asking. Is Issa Chiroma a patriot, somebody who loves Cameroon, or is he just taking advantage of the opportunity that this 2025 election presents itself? Those are the questions a lot of you are asking. It is not for me to answer these questions. It's for me to express myself and let you guys make the decision. I want you to answer the questions. So I'm just the journalist. I bring information to you. Then you are the boss. What do you think? Is Issa Chiroma a political opportunist or is he a patriot from the north? Some of you are saying that even people in the north do not trust Issa Chiroma. Already, one lady, our Ajwa, is already cursing him. Momo, Assistant Minister of Justice, is cursing him. So most of the people who are puppets, who are underlings of Paul Biya, they are already cursing him. So we know that things are going to be tough because already some of these politicians have been going to France and telling France, listen, this time power has to leave the south and return to the north. If it doesn't, there's going to be civil war. We're going to bring the jihadists to Yaoundé the way they have come to Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Mali. We're going to get support from Russia. So Russia is not just sitting quietly and watching. Russia is manipulating things behind the scenes. So is Cameroon going to be the next takeover target by Russia? It seems that's what I see. But the French are trying to organize a coup d'etat a la Gabonaise. The same way that Brice Oligui Nguema was handpicked by the French to overthrow Ali Bongo, the French are already looking for a military guy who is going to overthrow Biya and take over power. That's what the French are doing. The plans are already lined up. They are working on that. So the French are going to organize a coup d'etat against Biya. So mark my words, that's what is going to happen before October 2025. Biya is not going to be the next president. So even the person Biya wants to be president will not be president because Issa Chiroma is threatening and Bello Buba Maigari is also threatening. Some of you guys have to remember Bello Buba Maigari. When Ayo decided to resign, his subterfuge was to make Bello Buba Maigari prime minister. Then after 6 months, they would kick Biya out and Bello Buba Maigari would take over as president. That plot failed. And since then, Bello Buba Maigari spent a lot of time in Nigeria. Then later on, he returned to the country and started collaborating with Biya's CPD and Party. But even with that, the people in the north have been complaining about marginalization. So this is a serious problem. So things are not well in La République du Cameroon. The ship is sinking. What about Burkina Faso? Well, you guys are telling us that you are not really happy, even though the average person is happy with us, that on the ground, the jihadis are still scoring more and more victories. You were thinking that by now, Ibrahim Traoré would have vanquished the jihadis, but it has not happened. So with all the Russian support, all the military weapons, why is it that Ibrahim Traoré has not succeeded in vanquishing the jihadis? Those are the questions that a lot of you guys are asking, and I'm throwing the questions back at you. Answer those questions. Then, of course, in the Central African Republic, you have Assange Faustin Touadéra, who wants to run for so many terms. He would take the constitution, treat it like toilet paper, wipe his ass with it, and say, I can run as many times as I want. That's what creates a conflict, because the politics of exclusion. This is a math professor who should calculate things well, but his mathematics is telling him he's the only one who can be president. So what is going to happen? More trouble for Africa. What about Congo DRC? Well, on June 27, finally, under the patronage of President Donald Trump of the United States, Rwanda and Congo DRC signed a peace agreement. When you look at the peace agreement, it is fraught with a lot of meaning. What is important is what they are not saying. How is peace going to return? Because the dream of Trump is, as a transactional leader, Congo DRC is going to give unfettered access to America over all its minerals. In return, America is going to give them patronage. America is going to support them. America is going to bring peace to the region. Rwanda and Congo DRC would be neighbors living in peace. Each state would be able to develop peacefully. There will be no more conflicts. But at what price? The price of a lot of minerals. So most of those minerals from Congo DRC will become America's property. Are the people on the ground happy? Well, Tshisekedi is happy because he wants to stay in power. He's not a patriot. He wants to give away the minerals of his country in return for keeping the position of president. So that's just what it is. He's buying the seat with a lot of minerals. That's basically what is happening when I look at this deal between Congo DRC and Rwanda. Rwanda is playing for time, and we are just watching. Then what about Kenya? Kenya also is a case in which we see democracy collapsing. During the time of Uhuru Kenyatta, we had issues, but nothing compared to the time of William Ruto. People were thinking that as a man of the people, William Ruto would bring peace and would build on the democratic tradition in Kenya. He has not done so. After the protests of the tax protests over a year ago, the people have returned to the street because of police brutality. Police brutality in Kenya is a problem. It has tarnished the image of Kenya as a beacon of democracy. And people now know that Kenya is no democracy. When you see the minister in Kenya telling police to shoot and kill protesters in cold blood, what is this? Is this not barbarism? It is. And that's what we see. In Nigeria, we see the jihadist activity. A lot of people have been killed recently, but we're not going to focus on the jihadist activity. There's at least one shining spot which we want to talk about, and this is agriculture. For so long, Nigeria has been concentrating on oil. Oil alone cannot develop Nigeria. The richest man in Africa, Aliko Dangote, has made some commitment in agriculture. He wants to produce fertilizer, enough fertilizer so that Africa doesn't have to import fertilizer from abroad anymore. So we think this is a commendable move. It's not easy, but as the richest man in Africa, he can pull off this stuff. He can pull it off. We'd like to see fertilizer become plenty in Africa. So that way we don't have to import fertilizer from other countries. Because we need fertilizer in agriculture. When land is fertile, we can harvest more crops, then we can feed the people. There's a lot of hunger in Africa. The hunger is not just metaphorical, the hunger is physical. If people cannot eat, they are not happy. So we commend the action of this businessman, Aliko Dangote. People have known him in cement and oil, but he's making a big mark in the agricultural sector with fertilizers. So he's building the infrastructure to make sure that there's a supply chain that can handle this mass production of fertilizer that can boost the economy of Africa as one nation. So we salute Aliko Dangote on this show. He's a businessman, but we think he's doing the right thing for Africa and Nigeria. His businesses are now like multinationals, but we see him doing positive stuff, and we commend it. What about South Africa? In South Africa, we see the collapse of the party of unity. You know that the ANC could not win elections on its own, okay? So they decided to build a coalition with the Democratic Alliance, a party that is like far right, populated mostly by white folks. But Cyril Ramaphosa had to make a deal to survive. But now that deal is collapsing because these two parties have different interests, okay? The far right caters to the capitalist white people. Cyril Ramaphosa is middle, left. He wants to cater to black people, but they will not let him do it. So it's really tough. Then what about Togo? Togo also is a place where there's a lot of protests. Togo is a French plantation. Since 1967, Gnassingbé Eyadema overthrew a democratically elected government of Sylvanus Olympio by the aid of the French and took over the country. Even after his death, his son and his family are still ruining the fortunes of that country. When people protest the recent actions by his son, Faure, he sends police to the streets to beat and kill protesters. There's chaos now in Togo. We see that live. Are we happy with what we see? Not really. But what can be done? So you see now why Togo can become a place where Russia may want to play games. Because Russia may want to come into Togo because the French have been taking all the resources in that country and the people have nothing. Togo is a poor country, very, very poor country. The French multinationals are taking advantage of all the wealth of that country. The people have nothing. The people are suffering in abject poverty. So that's a very, very serious problem. Okay? It's a very, very serious problem. Next, we take you now to Uganda. Uganda is also a country. When people talk about Uganda, you guys remember Idi Amin, right? Yeah, but why don't you remember Yoweri Museveni? This guy came as a rebel. After fighting the Bush War, he took over the country. people felt change had come to Uganda, positive change. And he himself used to criticize, why do people want to stay in power for so long? That's a criticism. But now he has come in and is staying in power forever. Now he has changed the constitution. Nobody can oppose him. People like Bobby Wine have been pushed to the side. He dismisses them as foreign agents. But he stays in power. Now his family is fighting to take over from him. But he doesn't want to even give an inch to even his son, the crazy general. He wants to stay. Now he wants to run again and stay as president. So this is really sad when we look at what is happening. People come, they stay, they don't want to leave. So the ship is sinking. How long are you going to stay in a country? Yet, when you listen to Yoweri Museveni speak, he sounds like he has never run that country even for a day. He has new programs, things he want to do for the country. Then you ask yourself, after over 20-something years, why have you not done them? What have you been waiting for, fool? Well, he controls the military, so he can do as he pleases in that country, so long as he has his foreign backers who supply him with all the weapons. He can kill and crush any opposition, and that's what is really happening. So when we look at the news this week, we're telling you that things are not well, but we have hope because the new generation wants to do something about it. Tell us, what about jihadist activity in Burkina Faso? What can solve the problem? What about Assange Touadera Faustin, who wants to stay in power forever? What do you think? What about the peace Trump is making between DRC and Rwanda? What do you think? Police brutality in Kenya. What do you think? South Africa and the collapse of the coalition government. What do you think? French colonialism in Togo. What do you think about it? Yoweri Museveni dictatorship in Uganda. What do you think about it? So these are all questions we're asking you, our people. Go to the comment section of our show and express yourself. Tell us what you think, because this will help us. Share your ideas with us and share more stories with us. We want to hear from you. Thank you very much.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.